And before this episode starts, we would like to give a content warning that we briefly mention suicide and gun violence in this episode.
Welcome to Press Any Button. I'm Eric.
That's right.
What was that, Nikki?
I'm Nikki, the new scary host in town, and I'm going to scare everyone to death. Boo!
I thought he drove people crazy by scaring them. But yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he scares them, they go crazy, and then we know what happens next.
Okay, yeah, good point. And today we're talking about Naughty Bear. Naughty Bear is an action-adventure game released in 2010. Players control a disgruntled teddy bear named Naughty, who must vandalize, scare, and murder other teddy bears in order to earn Naughty points. Each mission has specified objectives such as eliminating a specific bear or earning a specific number of Naughty points.
Sounds exactly perfect.
Sounds like you're already getting into character, Nikki.
So, Eric.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Are you on the naughty or nice list?
Probably, I guess, the naughty list.
Well, then let's get into it.
All right. So, Nikki, before you get into your past, I just had a quick question.
Oh, gosh.
How did you hear about this game or play it for the first time? Or, like, what was the inspiration to pick this game?
Okay. So, this is one of the games I played before I met you. It might have been, like, around the time I met you. But my friend had a PlayStation 3, and she had it. And because that's, like, right up her alley with her sense of humor. Like, this perfect game. This is around the time I played God of War for the first time too. So I had like a couple friends who were like into games and stuff. And so I was always hanging out with my friend Hannah. And I actually lived with Hannah for a while. She was my roommate. And she had this game. And I remember playing it for a little bit. But I didn't get to play it like that much. But I thought it was hilarious back then.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you play as this like something that's usually totally cute and adorable and like associated with being a child and being innocent, and then you're like out murdering other teddy bears. So.
Yeah, the game certainly has like a very specific type of humor to it. And that does really fit perfectly with you.
Yeah. So Eric, I actually couldn't find a lot about how long it took the game to be made or like how many people it took to make the game or anything like that. But I did find a little bit of info. So I'm going to start with December 9th, 2009, 505 Games and developer Artificial Mind and Movement, also known as A2M, unveiled Naughty Bear for it to be released in 2010, like we already said, for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
And the name of the developer is called Artificial Mind to Movement?
Artificial Mind and Movement.
And Movement.
Or A2M.
That's kind of a mouthful for a developer.
I know, right? Yeah, you're not going to like easily remember that one. The game is directed by David Osborne. Have you heard of him before?
Nope.
He's actually been in the video game industry since the 90s.
Is he related to Ozzy?
No, I don't think so.
Dang.
But before Naughty Bear, he worked on games such as Teen Titans, which came out in 2006, Scooby-Doo Unmasked, Pulse Racer. He has over 40 games that he's worked on.
Oh, dang.
And since the 90s. So a lot of them I hadn't heard of. Some of them were like Disney games. Like there was a Lizzie McGuire game. I think there was like a Kim Possible game that he worked on and like some random things like that. But, you know, he's worked on a lot of games. And since Naughty Bear, he's worked on a bunch of games too. So he's still working.
Okay, so he has a really long resume.
Really long, yes.
Games.
Mm-hmm. So
none of which I think I've ever played before, but
you might if you look at the list. I only picked out some that sounded kind of familiar because I didn't really know any of them. But
Okay, I got you.
except for some of the newer ones, like I think the newest Fallout is like Fallout Shelter or something like that.
Well, those are Fallout. The Fallout games and Fallout Shelter are totally different.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, one's a mobile game and the other's like a FPS RPG.
Well, I did not know that. That's cool. Yeah, this is the Fallout Shelter series, so that's different from the one I was thinking of.
Okay.
The newest game that he was VP creative on was Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim.
That sounds cool.
But it looks like he's done a lot of different genres and a lot of different kinds of games. So
yeah, I did play.
And he's usually the creative director.
I did play Fallout Shelter for a bit back in the day, and it's pretty decent until I kind of got tired of the feedback loop or whatever.
Yeah. This game was designed by Ashley Pinnell, and she's worked on Dragon Raiders, Chronicles of the Perm.
Chronicles of the Perm?
Pern.
Oh, Pern. I thought like Perm as in like hairstyle.
That would be funny. And Stolen. Have you heard of either of those?
Nope. I've not heard of either.
She also worked on Fallout Shelter and some of the other same games as David. But yeah, so we've got two people that have been working in the video game industry for a while, and they were inspired by Saturday morning cartoons and the idea of juxtaposing the innocence with a dark sense of humor and over-the-top violence.
I think I literally used that exact words in my in my review, juxtaposition.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So you definitely think that they achieved that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Did you think of Saturday morning cartoons, or did you think more of like, I don't know,
like those kind of like early children's cartoons I was thinking of, because
like Care Bears?
Yeah, something like that. Just because of how like happy and friendly all the characters are.
Or like seem at first.
Oh, yeah, with the exception of Naughty.
Yeah.
And yeah, then they're not really friendly or happy at all.
Yeah, they're so mean to him.
It's so dark.
Gameplay was inspired by popular games such as Manhunt, Grand Theft Auto, and Destroy All Humans.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Grand Theft Auto. Well, that's the only one I played out of the three, but
I can
definitely see that.
I can see the inspired by, but it's not so much of the living up to those games.
That's true. That's true. So Naughty Bear was released June 25th, 2010 in Europe, and then June 29th in North America. Did you know that?
So it was released
4 days different.
Europe first, technically.
Yeah, technically.
Wow.
I don't know why they didn't. Why wouldn't you just release it on the same day?
Maybe there's a technical issue or something.
True. And originally it was released on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. And then in September of 2010, it was released for iOS.
Never played the Android or the iPhone version of the game.
Me either. I didn't even know there was.
Or I guess it probably would have been on iPad.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was an iOS version until we did this. And then I'll go ahead and say they released a Naughty Bear Golden Edition in 2011, which is the original game plus all of its 3 downloadable content episodes, 3 new weapons, and 4 multiplayer modes. So it's kind of like a amped up edition of the same game.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And that was May 2011. And then I'll go ahead and add, since it was still a long time ago, in 2012, Naughty Bear Panic in Paradise was released as a download-only game for PlayStation Network and Xbox Live Arcade.
Okay.
So that was a sequel game, but since it happened so long ago, I didn't want to lump it in with the future stuff.
Yeah, what I'd be curious about is, since that is a download-only game, if it's still even available.
I know, because I will want to preface this episode and say there is a multiplayer mode for this game, but we were not able to play or experience it at all because the game's so old that no one's playing the game.
Well, I don't know.
Online, like we weren't able to play online.
I don't know if the multiplayer doesn't work because it's like no one's playing it anymore, or because
The server's down.
Yeah, it doesn't get supported anymore.
I think they probably disabled it or whatever. But yeah, so I will say we won't really be able to talk very much about the multiplayer mode, which I'm kind of bummed about because from what I read online, that is one of the more fun parts of the game.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I know, man. So, Eric, are you ready for some fun facts?
Yeah, let's do fun
facts. Or should I say, fun facts?
Yeah, that noise he makes when he scares the other bears or whatever.
It's like so deep and creepy.
It's so funny. It cracks me up. But I don't know. You just hear it so much. You're like,
So, fun fact number 1. You're going to be probably a little angry at this, Eric, because there's a glitch in the PlayStation 3 version.
A glitch? Oh,
of
man.
The game.
Is that what I'm supposed to be angry about?
No.
Okay,
Let me finish. There's a glitch in that game where whenever help is called, only 2 cops will come, while in the 360 version of the game, up to 4 cops could be called per area.
Oh, wait. So there's fewer cops on the PlayStation version?
Only 2 max cops.
Okay.
Whereas Xbox 360, 4 max cops.
Well, that's
double.
You just don't let the bears call the police. That's step number 1. We'll get into the strategy. But yeah, you don't let them call the police. Then you don't have to worry about.
But I'm just saying, if you had PlayStation 3, you had a slightly easier version of the game because of that, right?
Okay, I am angry at that. That's the worst.
Fun fact number 2. GameStop and Amazon offered pre-order bonus costumes that spoofed Jason and Freddy Krueger.
Wow.
That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of are one of those characters, basically, in a sense. That's like...
And there is a new-ish Jason game that you can play online and kind of chase people down and kill them. I feel like it definitely reminds me of this game a little bit.
Did it come with a pre-order Naughty Bear skin?
Oh, man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I guess not.
And finally, fun fact number 3. Did you know there are over 250 different ways to be naughty in this game?
Wow. That's a lot of naughty.
How many do you think you did?
Like 20?
Man, you're just really... Can you even really call yourself Naughty Bear?
I mean...
You need to call yourself
Mediocre
Bear.
Why don't you read off the list and we'll figure it out exactly.
Well, there's not a list.
There's not a list?
No.
You didn't print out the list of how many was it?
250.
250 ways?
I'm trying to go green over here. I'm not printing out a list.
Okay, I guess the environment is important.
Pretty much anything you can think of probably can get you naughty point in this game.
Yeah.
Sounds like. So, Eric, do you want to go over the story?
There is technically story.
Yeah, a little bit.
They're kind of like in episodes or levels, or I don't know the best way to put it, but yeah.
I would say levels.
Yeah, I'd say they're levels, but then there are like sub-levels within a level, if that makes sense. So there's like the main level with the main story, and then you'll have like speed run the level, or don't get hit, or you'll have these like sub-objectives that have to be played separately. But yeah, I know the first one's like a birthday party, and you didn't get invited, so you have to murder a specific bear who didn't invite you.
No. Okay, there's a birthday party.
Okay.
You didn't get invited, but you still made a gift for the person whose birthday it was. And you went to give it to them, but before you could even give it to them, a couple of bears started making fun of you, and then you had to turn naughty again and kill everyone, basically.
Oh, okay. You had to. You didn't have a choice.
Basically, Naughty Bear's just trying to be a good bear, but all the rest of the people on the island suck, and they're mean.
Yeah,
him.
That's kind of my impression. So yeah, the next level, it's like there's I guess the mayor.
Yeah, we don't do every level.
Okay,
just in general, you've got Naughty Bear trying to be a good bear, trying his best.
Trying to live his life.
Everyone just is taunting him and being mean and really just invoking what they deserve. Just kidding.
This is all about karma. Karma, the video game.
Yeah. So, Eric, what's something that you like about this game?
So yeah, I like the dark humor in this game a lot. I literally wrote, there's a great juxtaposition between the cute teddy bears and the ridiculous level of violence.
Oh,
Which is funny because, yeah, you said that was basically what they were going for. And yeah, that's what I liked. The sarcastic narrator is also great, and he plays up the ridiculousness of the game really well. I also like the fatalities. I found them pretty funny. Like, pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
Because, you know, it's not really gory so much as, you know, it's the fluff and the teddy bear.
Yeah, there's like no blood, of course.
Yeah. So it makes it okay. It makes all the violence okay.
Yeah, totally.
Funny. What about you? What's something, did you like the humor?
Yeah, that's one of the main things that's why I remembered it all these years later. Because honestly, it's not that great of a game.
But hey, we're not there yet.
But it is fun and silly, and you laugh a lot while you're playing it because it's just like so demented and ridiculous.
Yeah.
I like that you just get to like go ham and pretty much do whatever you want. Like it really does feel like Grand Theft Auto in that way, because you can pretty much destroy anything, kill anything, break windows.
Well,
like
not
all
always.
This stuff.
I mean, the main levels you do, but like you also have these like sub levels, and you kind of have to do the sub levels in order to unlock all the main levels. But sometimes it's like, and this is a positive I had about the game, is the objectives kind of can change it up a good bit. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you're trying to get a certain amount of like naughty points. Sometimes you're like trying to like actually scare the bears instead of killing them. So you're not just murdering all the bears every single level.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean that. I just meant you do get to go ham in most of the game. You just get to go crazy and be as naughty as you want.
So what's something else that you like?
There's like so many weapons to choose from, and there's like a bunch of different traps you can pick up, and I like that there's a way to kill the bears without even really touching them. I think that's kind of creative, because you can just like scare them to death basically, and then they'll commit suicide, which is it sounds really bad, but you know, they're bears, they're teddy bears, so
it's pretty dark. Yeah, you can't drive them insane and they will kill themselves.
Yeah, it's very dark humor. If that's not your thing, this is not the game for you.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things I liked were the ridiculous spots in each episode. From like I said, the naughty not getting invited to a birthday party, to like an oil baron comes along and wants to drill for oil directly where Naughty's house is. The game constantly comes up with reasons for you to murder everyone in town.
They're so creative.
Yeah.
I like that there's several ways to approach each level too. Like if you want to be more stealthy and kind of kill off the bears silently, you can. If you want to cut off the emergency like ways that people can exit or ways that help can come, then you can do that and then just go ham and murder everyone because no one can escape. If you wanted to set up a bunch of traps or just jump out and scare people, I don't know, there's just like different ways you could do each level, different approaches you could take with the strategy.
Yeah, that's 100% true. So one of the things I liked too was the the unlockable outfits. They're mostly just hats, but they all come with different stats, which is kind of neat. So like your forest stats are like your
strength,
your life, strength, speed, and aim. I don't know why aim, but so the different hats you wear give you different stats for those 4 subjects.
Yeah.
I guess.
Gotta be styling and profiling, you know?
Yeah. Anything else?
I think that's all I got for the pros. I'm sure if we got to play the multi-level, we would have more pros, but we didn't.
Because of that, I have it listed as a con. So overall, I hate to say it, but I didn't think this game was very good.
Yeah, I have to actually agree. You know, playing it again, and maybe it would have been better. Like, maybe it did seem better back in 2010, because, you know, that was 13 years ago. But it didn't age that well.
Yeah, it hasn't aged that well.
Yeah.
It's got some good humor, but the gameplay gets, like, really repetitive.
Yeah.
And there isn't very much depth to it.
Yeah, I have that as well. And, oh my gosh, the camera is the worst.
Man,
it is so jerky and choppy. I think it gave me motion sickness one day because I was playing it in your game chair, so I was like up closer, and I had to stop playing it and like go drink some water and like just watch some TV for a second. And I think it was because of the camera was so like just choppy and jerky.
Yeah. Another thing that bothers me about the camera is that it feels like there are lots of objects like homes and trees that constantly get in its way. And if you actually want to like look up at something, there are like a bunch of ground level objects that make it really hard to to look up without something blocking your view.
Yeah.
Because like in one level, there's like these like pigeons that kind of fly around with cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of need to like pan the camera up to look at them. But it's really hard to find a spot that's actually clear of like grass and stuff.
Yeah.
Where you can actually like look up. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
And then like also whenever you make a kill, for some reason it resets your camera. And so you'll be looking at the bear, you know, obviously when you're killing it. And then after it dies, it automatically flips you around. So you'll be like looking the opposite direction.
Yeah, you'll be like the camera will be facing Naughty as opposed to like behind
Yeah, and
him.
it's just like super disorienting when you have to like run away really fast.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like maneuver around really quickly. It just
the game
makes
could
it
at
difficult.
least put the camera back to where it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. So one of the things I didn't like were the guns. The guns just were not good in this game.
Yeah.
It takes almost
Once you figure out that right bumper at least lets you put your arm down though, so you can run.
Yeah,
that helps a little bit.
That takes a minute because before like you're just slowly walking around aiming the gun. Yeah, when you pick up a gun, you'll automatically be aiming it, which I guess makes sense if it's an emergency.
Yeah.
But yeah, you actually have to find the button to put the gun like so you're not aiming it, so it's just like down at your side. But yeah, so it takes almost all the gun's ammo to kill just one bear. And then there's like not ammo, so like once you use the gun's ammo, it's kind of like you have to go find a different weapon.
Yeah. I didn't like the guns that much either. I don't know. It just felt kind of icky with the guns, more so than like the machete or something. I think it's just because of the climate today and like with all the real life mass shootings that we have to deal with every single day. It just kind of reminded me just too much of like that.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just avoid using guns for the most part. I like the machete and the golf club and like the bat and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mostly avoided using the guns because they were terrible. But
yeah.
Also, yeah, I just found it way easier to like use a melee weapon. It just like
it was just easier.
Then you weren't constantly searching for new weapons every single time.
Yeah, and one more last con I have: the stealth and the stealth mechanic is just like a joke. Pretty much, if you run into the grass, you put up this one little clover-looking, fake-looking like camouflage. All the bears cannot see you. Like,
yeah, you're totally invisible.
It's just, I don't know. You're not even ducking. You're not hiding behind anything except this one little leaf, and like all of a sudden, no one can see you. I don't know. If you're gonna make that be one of the objectives, it should probably be like, I don't know, a little bit harder. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. The stealth wasn't really very good. One of the things I didn't like were the booby traps. So there are two different types of booby traps, like claw traps and mines. As far as I've found playing, maybe there's more later in the game. I didn't get to the very end of the game, but yeah, anyway. But they function the exact same way. I'm not sure how someone can get their foot stuck in a mine. But that's how they work for some reason.
Yeah, I think mines usually just blow up, right?
Yeah, they should blow up. You would think they would blow up, but like when they run into a mine, they just get their foot caught like they would a claw trap. So
I didn't have patience to be using the traps. I said a few, but I was like,
yeah,
I was mostly just running around hacking at people.
Yeah, and if you're waiting for a bear to like randomly wander into a trap, it's not gonna happen.
That's true.
You usually have to find a way to like lure them into like by vandalizing something nearby or something. Also, like 9 times out of 10, if I set a booby trap, I'm going to be the one who is accidentally running into it.
Yeah.
It's like I would set one, I'm like, I'll booby trap a bunch of areas. And then like almost every single time I would end up being the one to run into the booby trap.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it.
Like, I shouldn't have done it. Regrets.
Yeah, then one of the other things I didn't like was, the fact that the multiplayer is now extinct, I guess.
Yeah.
And we couldn't figure out exactly why, but we also didn't have 2 Xbox 360s and 2 copies of the game where we could play with each other, maybe.
Yeah,
but,
I'm pretty sure the server's like not up anymore.
yeah, and you have to have Xbox Live to even access the multiplayer, so there's like no local multiplayer or anything.
Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have a local multiplayer. That doesn't make much sense to me either.
And my final con
Oh my gosh, so many.
is the repetitive maps. So the buildings and the map areas don't really differ that much level
That's
to level.
true.
So
They look slightly different, but the layout is pretty much the same.
The layout changes. Like sometimes they'll have a couple docks where a boat will be, but
Yeah, it doesn't change that much.
yeah.
They could have had more variation.
Yeah, there's that, and the fact that you literally have to play a level multiple times, but with the different objectives, in order to unlock all the rest of the levels.
Yeah.
Like if you could just play through the straight game, that might be a little bit less repetitive, but you can't because they have like a trophy unlock system where you have to have so many of each trophy to unlock specific.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to make the game longer by doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like they were just trying to add content to something that really didn't have very much content. And that's all my cons.
All right. Wow,
all.
hardly any. No complaints at all from Eric.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
So you want to go into the strategy?
Yeah. So how do you play Naughty Bear the best, Nikki?
Strategy number 1, disable the cars and boats first.
Yeah.
No one's escaping me or calling for help.
I had that too. I'm like, before too many people see you do stuff or whatever, you really
always
want to
be sneaky at first.
Yeah, definitely try to be sneaky at first, but definitely take out the car and the boat. The phones too, if you can, but at the same time, you're probably not going to find all the phones. There's a bunch of them. But anything where they can get away, especially when there's a specific bear where you have to like make sure to kill that bear. You don't want them getting in a car or a boat.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be a disaster.
That'd be the worst.
That's a disaster. So one of my pieces of strategy is, like I said, don't waste your time with the guns. I found that swords, machetes, and axes were the fastest melee weapons to kill with. So that's kind of what I went for.
Yeah.
But you have like golf clubs and bats and like just other stuff.
Yeah.
Like sticks, I think.
Yeah, and speaking of the weapons, like, it's a good idea to vary the weapons up, because if you use the same weapon all the time, you start to get less naughty points by using that. So it gives you an incentive to want to switch up your weapons more often.
I didn't know that. Good to know. I'll add that to my things I do on this game.
Next time you play.
Next time I play.
About 10 years, probably. Oh, God. Imagine playing in 10 years what the graphics are going to feel like. Ugh.
So, one of mine is when a bear makes it to a car or a boat, or when they're calling up the police bear, you'll get a red arrow telling you their direction. You can kill or scare those bears with just a trigger push, so getting to them is kind of a priority. Plus, they'll either get away or call police or whatever. They always take longer than you think to do the action. So unless you're like literally on the other side of the map, usually you have time to get to them. You just have to follow that arrow and get there as quickly as you can.
Keep an eye on the arrow for it to turn red.
Yeah, as long as you're paying attention to the fact that there could be suddenly an arrow there, especially when things start going off the rails, which things almost always go off the rails.
Oh, yeah. It's easy for things to go off the rails in this game.
It's very hard to stealth kill every single person.
Yeah. One of the easiest ways to get the max amount of points is to scare a bear insane so that they just kill themselves. And it's pretty easy to do that. You just have to like sabotage a grill or something and then wait and then come up behind them and scare them a few times. Or hide in a locker and then jump out at the right time and scare them, Or
use a mine or a claw trap.
Yeah, so I feel like once you figure that out, then it's like, that's how you probably want to play the game for the most part.
Yeah, just scaring people as opposed to actually just murdering them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any more strategy, Eric?
So I didn't really have enough patience for the booby traps or sabotaging much equipment, but I'm sure if you got good at doing those, that would help a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
If you got good at the game, you'd probably be good at the game.
yeah, if you got good at it, you would be good. All right. That's enough strategy stuff, I think. Unless you have
nah.
more. Okay.
Have fun. That's always my strategy.
So what do you got for the future, Nikki?
So the only thing I could really find for the future was 2021, where Naughty Bear makes a cameo in one of Behavior Interactive's newer games called Dead by Daylight. Have you heard of this game?
Yeah, that's supposed to be a pretty good,
Cool.
like real well-known game, I think.
So
I've never played it, but
to do this, you must use the piece of cake, and that's in quotations for some reason. I guess it's like a tool or something you get to unlock and cut open a stuffed teddy bear and the birthday cake charm. So you have to do both of those, and then it unlocks Naughty Bear cameo.
oh, cool. So it's like a little scene or something plays out.
I guess so. It didn't really elaborate on what the cameo was, but if you've played the game and you've seen this cameo, let us know. Also, if you did play this game back in the day and you got to play a multiplayer, like, let us know how that was. 'Cause
Yeah.
we totally didn't get to play that.
That would have been cool.
Do you have anything for the future, Eric?
I do. So a Naughty Bear movie recently came out, but for some reason they decided to change the name to Cocaine Bear.
Oh, man. That movie was good.
As a joke. Yeah, it's not about Naughty Bear.
I feel like that's a name they would change it to for like the UK or something though.
Yeah, for like no reason.
Yeah.
I assume the movie at least takes place in a shared universe with Naughty Bear.
Definitely. They're like best friends.
Best friends. Naughty Bear and
Besties.
Cocaine Bear. So I bet you're curious about the challenge.
Yeah, Eric, do you think you got 1 million naughty points? It's like so many naughty points.
Yeah, I got it like on the second level. So sorry, Nikki.
Yeah.
It was not
I mean,
hard.
it did say like 77% of people had gotten that trophy. So I figured it was going to be somewhat easy, but I didn't think it was going to be that easy.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Some
Oh,
stages
well.
I got like 2 million naughty points.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Look at you being an overachiever.
Thanks. Yeah.
So proud of you. That's my husband, everybody.
You're welcome.
So, Eric, do you have a game for the next episode?
I forgot. I didn't pick one.
Oh, man. Do you think we should just ask some random person to pick out a game? Or maybe
Maybe-
we should have a guest on for the next episode?
Maybe we should just cancel the episode entirely.
Nah, I say we have a guest.
Okay, yeah, let's have a guest.
So speaking of guests, we do have a guest next episode. Haha, we tricked you guys. I'm super excited because we have a really exciting guest on for our next episode.
And who is that?
His name is Bug, B-U-G, Bug McBride. And he's the owner of Blue Ghost Arcade in Woodstock.
Yeah, I love that place.
We love that place. And so we reached out. We're like, yo, can you be on the podcast? And he was like, yeah. So any guesses, Eric, what game he might pick? I mean, he owns the arcade, so I'm pretty sure
So
he's very passionate about video games.
So possibly, I want to say like an arcade game.
Oh, you think so? You're wrong. So he actually is picking Super Mario World for the SNES.
God, that's such a good game.
That is a great game.
Yeah,
Man,
and I definitely
that brings
wanted-
back a lot of memories.
I definitely wanted to have a guest for that game because it is such a good game.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of the best 2D platformers of all time.
So what kind of challenge would you give if you were going to pick that game, Eric?
Ooh, man. You can really do a lot. Like
Mine
I know
would probably be boring, like beat the game. Because that's actually really hard.
Yeah, that's because there's that whole special area and stuff with the Star Road.
Oh, yeah.
So you can like do some stuff with that, like beating the special area.
Yeah. So many options.
All right, so what do you pick?
So his challenge for us is we have to find all the secret exits without using the internet.
Yeah, that's
That's
actually
fair, because if we use the internet, I mean, then that's not really a challenge.
That's a really good challenge, actually.
I didn't even really know that there was double exits in some of the levels.
Yeah.
Is it always double, or does a level have more than 2 exits?
That's a really good question. I don't think there's more than 2 exits in a stage. I could be wrong about that.
Oh, wait. He said, I'll give you a hint. All levels with a red dot have 2 exits.
Okay.
Ooh.
I also know that there are some ghost houses that have multiple exits.
Oh.
I'm not sure if every ghost house has multiple exits, though. I don't know. We'll find out.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, me
Doing
too.
another Mario game. So fun.
Yeah, this is a really good one. I'm excited about Super Mario World.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And as always, if you like what you heard, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, rate us on Spotify, check out our podcast, pressanybutton.net. You can listen to our raps, you can listen to our past episodes there, you can leave comments. We would love to hear what you have to say. Bye.